Welcome to Online Radio Theater. I'm Gregg Oppenheimer. Tonight we're recreating the very first episode of the Gulf Screen Guild show from January 8th, 1939. So let's get started.
Welcome, everybody. Tonight, your neighborhood good golf dealer joins the golf companies in presenting a new program. So welcome to all of you from the Good Golf Dealers of America. Welcome to the Motion Picture Star's own radio program, the Gulf Screen Guild Show, with Jack Benny, Joan Crawford, Reginald Gardiner, Judy Garland, and Hollywood's favorite master of ceremonies, George Murphy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Screen Guild Show. You may be wondering why we call this the Motion Picture Star's own program. Well, you see, it's this way. This show is written, directed, and acted by the greatest names in the motion picture industry. But most important, the money the Gulf Oil Company pays the stars for appearing on the show goes directly to the Motion Picture Relief Fund. See, it really is our own program. And we hope you have as much fun listening to it as we do in bringing it to you. So let's swing right into the show with a star who still manages to keep her youthful appearance despite her 15 years. Judy Garland.
Well, thanks, Mr. Murphy. Isn't it swell? Isn't it great?
Oh, you said it, Judy. And you're the first star to appear on the Screen Guild show.
Gee, Mr. Murphy, aren't you excited? Oh, how many people do you think are listening to us?
Well, Judy, I suppose.
Can they hear us all over the country?
I suspect that...
You think they're listening and enjoying?
Oh, wait a minute, wait. If you'll stand still for just a minute, I'll tell you. You must have been vaccinated with a pogo stick.
Mr. Murphy, where's the Master of Ceremonies?
Well, Judy, I'm the Master of Ceremonies.
Oh, I thought the Master of Ceremonies was supposed to be funny.
Well, it so happens that I'm the Master of Ceremonies, and I can be just as funny as the next one.
Oh, gee, have they already decided on the next one?
Judy, darling, how about your song?
Well, would you like me to read you a letter I've been writing?
Well, if that'll get us into your song, be my guest.
All right. Maestro?
Dear Mr. Gable, I am writing this to you, and I hope that you will read it so you'll know. My heart beats like a hammer, and I stutter and I stammer every time I see you at the picture show. I guess I'm just another fan of yours, and I thought I'd write and tell you so. You made me love you. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. You made me love you, and all the time you knew it. I guess you always knew it. You made me happy. Sometimes you made me glad. But there were times, sir, you made me feel so sad. You made me sigh, 'cause I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want to tell you. I think you're grand, that's true. Yes, I do, deed I do. You know I do. I don't care what happens, let the whole world stop. As far as I'm concerned, you'll always be the top, 'cause you know you made me love you.
Thank you, Judy Garland. That was certainly sweet.
Thanks. Oh, and don't forget, I want to meet all the stars on the show tonight.
All right, you stick around, and I'll introduce you to Joan Crawford.
Joan Crawford? Oh, gee, I've always wanted to meet her. Will you introduce me to her?
I certainly will.
Oh, gosh. Oh, Joan Crawford.
And you know what? I'll introduce you to Jack Benny, too.
Oh, gee, Joan Crawford.
Judy, it looks as though you're really serious about this. Hey, somebody just came in. That might be Joan now.
Pardon me, am I interrupting anything?
No, not at all.
Then I must be in the wrong studio. Goodbye.
Hey, wait a minute. It's Reggie Gardiner, folks. Well, Reggie, it's really a pleasure to see you here. And it's awfully nice of you to be on this first program, in spite of your broken arm.
Oh, my arm is much better, thanks. In fact, it's actually healed.
Then why don't you take off the sling?
Well, I would, but it's holding up my pants. You see, I can't afford a butler. Frightful, isn't it?
Say, Mr. Murphy, when are you going to introduce me to Joan Crawford?
Judy, look, I'll introduce you to Joan Crawford just as soon as she gets here.
Hasn't Joan been on yet?
Nah, and we're waiting for Jack Benny, too. He just finished his program, and right now he's in a police car.
Oh, really? I heard his show, but I didn't think it was that bad.
I'm sure Jack will appreciate that.
You know, I heard a lot of radio programs while I was lying in the hospital with my broken arm. In fact, that's all I did. I didn't get any sleep at all. You see, being alone in one room for so long brought back my old phobia of believing that all the furniture and everything in the room was alive, with the exception of my night nurse, of course, who definitely wasn't.
I'm sorry to hear that, Reggie.
Mr. Murphy, don't forget that...
You're going to meet Joan Crawford just as soon as she gets here, and not before.
Here I am, George. You can relax.
Why, it's Jack Benny. Hello, Jack.
Well, George, I bet you were kind of worried that I wouldn't get here on time, weren't you? Weren't you worried?
No, we weren't worried, Jack. Not at all.
Well, weren't you worried even a little bit?
No, not even a little bit.
Darn it, I was hiding for nothing. You know, George, I had an awful time getting here. It's the last time I go any place with a police escort, believe me.
Why, Jack, I should think you'd feel flattered. It's quite an honor to have them send a police car for you.
Police car nothing. They sent 2 cops on motorcycles and I had to run between them. I should feel honored yet. Say, George, I'm not the first one here, am I? Who else is on the show tonight?
Well, there's Judy Garland.
Oh, Judy.
And Reginald Gardiner.
Oh, Reggie.
And Joan Crawford.
Oh, boy. I mean, Miss Crawford. You know, George, it's a funny thing. Now, I know nearly everybody in Hollywood, and yet I've never been able to, I've never had the pleasure of meeting Miss Crawford.
You haven't?
No. Oh, we've been at the same places at the same time, like, well, at the Rose Bowl game and America, but we never seemed to rub elbows.
Is that so?
Not that I'd recognize her elbow if I rubbed it, but really, George, I would love to meet her.
Well, Jack, your desire is about to be fulfilled. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Joan Crawford. Hello, Joan.
Hello, George.
Joan, I can't tell you how happy I am that you're here. But before I say another word, I want you to meet Jack Benny. He's one of your greatest fans.
Fan? I'm practically a windmill.
How do you do, Mr. Benny?
So glad to know you, Miss Crawford, and George is right. I've always been a great admirer of yours.
Why, thank you, Jack. I call you Jack because I feel that I almost know you.
You do?
Well, yes. I've heard Fred Allen speak of you so often.
Oh, you have? Well, stop staring at me.
I'm sorry.
Now listen, Miss Crawford, you know Allen has been saying a lot of things about me, but don't believe a word that comes out of his nose.
Well, Jack, I hate to take sides, but I listen to your program nearly every Sunday, and I've heard you say some pretty awful things.
About Allen?
No, just some pretty awful things.
Well, it's nice to know you listen anyway. And by the way, Joan, You don't mind me calling you Joan, do you?
Why, no, not at all.
It's such a short program, and if you can save a syllable here and there, I mean, they add up. Now, I started to say, Joan, I saw your latest picture, The Shining Hour, and I thought that you...
Oh, Joan,
Yes?
this is Judy Garland. She's been so anxious to meet you.
Hello, Judy.
Gosh, Miss Crawford, you're my favorite star.
Isn't the child cute? You know, Joan, as I was saying...
Thank you so much, Judy.
Now, in The Shining Hour, Joan, your performance...
Gee, Miss Crawford, when I grow up, I want to be just like you.
Well, you know, Joan, your performance...
And I will be, too. Someday.
Judy, sweetheart, you're getting in my hair.
Well, I won't get lost. Well, goodbye, Miss Crawford.
Goodbye, Judy. I'll see you later.
You know, Joan, cute kid, isn't she? Now, I've been trying to tell you how delightful I thought your performance was in The Shining Hour. You know, I'm in the cinema, too.
Oh, yes, I know, and I've always enjoyed you very much.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Well, look, if you mean that, Joan, there's a question that I'd like to ask you. It may sound silly, but it means an awful lot to me. I mean, to my career.
Well, I hope I can help you, Jack. What is it?
Well, look, Joan, if I'm as good in pictures as we think I am, why don't they ever cast me, well, as a lover? I mean, after all, there must be some people who think I'm attractive.
Oh, there must be.
Yes. But getting back to me being a lover, I just can't understand how Paramount overlooks such a natural opportunity. I mean, I've got Gary Cooper's eyes, Don Amici's nose, Robert Taylor's overcoat, and yet something is holding me down.
Maybe it's the overcoat.
No, Joan, what I'm driving at is this. What is it that keeps me from being another Ronald Colman or a Clark Gable?
Oh, Jack, that's a very delicate thing to say.
Come on, Joan, tell me. I can take it, really.
Jack, I could tell you what I think might be the reason, but, I hate to say it in front of all of these people.
Oh, that's all right. I won't be offended. I promise.
Take an oath?
May I never live to see Artists and Models Abroad, a Paramount picture playing at your favorite theater.
All right, then. Here goes. Now, Jack, I think you're very clever and you're very talented. But your problem is the most essential thing for success on the screen.
It is? What is it?
Sex appeal.
Sex appeal?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't mean that I haven't got enough.
Oh, yes, I can.
Funny, and I never even suspected it. Gee, I do the rumba. I wear turtleneck sweaters. I saw ecstasy.
Jack, let me try to explain something to you. Suppose you weren't Jack Benny. Suppose you were Ronald Colman or Clark Gable. Oh, if you were Gable, do you think I could just stand here coldly, calmly talking to you?
Well...
No. Why, if you were Gable, I couldn't stay away from you. I'd want to get closer to you. Like this. And I'd even want to caress your cheek. Like this. And I'd want to kiss you. Like this. You see? I didn't feel a thing.
That's funny. I was a wreck. But I see what you're driving at, Joan. Now, when you mention Gable, don't forget you only see him on the screen, where he's acting, playing a part, giving a performance. Why, it's all a matter of environment, circumstances, surroundings, music, dim lights. That's what it is.
Oh, no. You're wrong about that, Jack.
No, I'm not. It's all atmosphere. I can prove it to you, Joan.
Prove it how?
Now, look, I want you to close your eyes and forget I'm Jack Benny. I mean, close your eyes and think of me as Clark Gable.
You mean I should concentrate on it?
Yes. Now, remember, I'm not Jack Benny. I'm Clark Gable. I'm Clark Gable. Clark Gable, got it?
Yes, Jack.
All right, I'm Jack Gable. I mean, what's in a name? Now, look, we'll play a love scene together, a real fervent love scene. I'll show you that my kiss and Gable's, it's the same thing. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, now we'll start. Dim the lights, please. Dimmer. Music. Joan, oh Joan.
Oh, Clark, is it really you? And I thought you were leaving without saying goodbye.
Oh, my poor darling, my sweet. Let me dry the tears brimming in your eyes.
My love.
I should have told you sooner, but I'll be back, darling. I don't know how or when, but my heart calling to yours will sing a rhapsody in your dreams, though years and 1,000 miles shall separate us.
Oh, Jack.
Yes, dear. I mean, what is it, George?
Hey, Jack, you know something? I didn't give you an introduction tonight.
Who cares? Goodbye.
Well, I can give you one right now while Miss Crawford is sleeping.
She's not sleeping. Joan, are you still in the mood?
I will be when I close my eyes.
All right, then, let's continue. Oh, cruel fate, what exquisite agony.
To meet and part with nothing left to cherish but the ecstasy of love's first kiss.
Love's first kiss. Then kiss me, my sweet, and I shall ever be a man whose heart has plumbed the depths.
My beloved.
Kiss me.
To think that we may never meet again.
Kiss me.
To think that fate would treat me thus.
Kiss me.
To think.
Kiss me, for heaven's sake.
Oh, my love.
Well, Joan, what do you think of that? Joan? Joan! Help!
What's the matter, Jack? Was there an accident?
Accident? Ha ha ha! Accident. Reviver, boys. I'm going out for a smoke.
Why, Jack?
No sex appeal, huh? Ha 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 ha!
Our cast featured Ivan Curry as George Murphy, Rhonda Medina as Joan Crawford, Jen Olivier as Judy Garland, Phil Proctor as Reginald Gardiner, and Brad Zinn as Jack Benny. The script was written by Earl Brecher, Sam PERRIN, and Jess Oppenheimer, whose son, Gregg Oppenheimer, produced and directed the program. And this is John Jensen for Online Radio Theater saying so long until next time.